President Trump using the art of tariffs to negotiate better trade deals for the United States. But the National Association of Home Builders is now warning that the 25% levy on steel and aluminum, set to take effect in March, could push the cost of construction material higher by several $billions. That would drive up the cost of housing. All this as home builder sentiment hits a 5-month low. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says he's confident Americans won't feel the pinch from tariffs. Watch this.
I think that very little of that would be passed on to the consumer. The companies on the other side, the exporters, are going to eat a lot of the cost.
Joining me now, the Corcoran Group founder and Shark Tank investor, Barbara Corcoran. Always great to see you.
Thank you, Jackie. Nice to be here.
Want to ask how you anticipate this is going to go. Do you agree with the Treasury Secretary?
Definitely not. Everybody's going to feel the increased cost in the housing market. New developers are already cutting back the size of their homes to bring prices down. It's just going to shoot them right back up.
And the issue has been supply. So we want people to be able to build.
Also renovation. Yeah. I might say people will stop renovating the homes if the cost of renovation is much higher. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a tremendous effect of like 10 or 20, 25% on the housing market.
Wow. Okay. So that's one thing to think about. Mortgage rates, of course, are the other. Still causing a headache for home buyers out there. The 30-year fixed rate hovering just below that 7% mark. We are weeks away from the spring home buying season, but Bankrate is telling people, wait, warning that increased buyer competition is causing a spike in prices. They're also advising people to hold off until the fall or winter. If they want a good deal, you're the queen of deals.
No, the best time to buy is right away, the minute you have enough money to put down, because you want to get in the game and have a chit in the market. What's happening right now is 2/3 of all Americans have interest rates below 4%. So why would they move? Right. We have a shortage of housing. There's not enough to choose from. And that's the exact reason why we're stuck.
So if I have the 7%, if I have the down payment, but I know I'm paying roughly a 7% interest rate, your idea would be just buy now, do it, and then refinance later?
Of course, because houses last year went up by 4%. They're going to go up by more this year coming into the season. So you're just going to pay out in the house price what you've saved in the actual mortgage.
Okay. Let's talk about deals in general. Are there places, locales, cities, states right now? Anything you're looking at?
There are good places where I'm buying real estate because it's such a good deal and they have so much promise for the future. So I'm buying certainly in Columbus, Ohio. I've bought in a lot of properties in a number of other cities. But what I wanted to say is for the average American, it's very easy to find a good deal on a home. You can look at homes that are on the market for a long time, especially if they've been on the market for 120 days and you look at that date. What happens there is those sellers are desperate to sell, or they would have taken their house off the market and you could get a good deal. You could look at houses off season, and most people don't. Most houses are sold in the spring and the summer, and yet people go out with everybody else. If you shop in December, you've got the best deals. You look at the prices in December, they always come down.
And one of the tips that I always love, you used to say this too, go at night.
Go at night just to know what you're really buying. You'll meet the neighbor you don't want to live next door to.
Interesting, yeah, and see what it feels like.
Yeah.
And also some people say, you know what, I'm not really sure that I want to be in XYZ place, but I'm going to rent there, try it out.
It's a great idea.
Do you recommend that?
Yes, I do. If you can rent it and try it out and see if it's really for you. About 2/3 of people have second thoughts about where they buy, and they always say, I wouldn't have bought here if I knew, whatever. So by renting it out first is a good idea. Yeah.
I want to go back to the markets for a moment because obviously investors watch interest rates very closely. They watch what the Treasury Secretary is going to do, cut, not cut. Doesn't look like we're going to get cuts at this point in time. But they're also watching the 10-year yield, and yields have been coming down.
Yeah.
Yields are more impactful when it comes to the mortgage rate?
Well, only to the investor, but not to the average consumer, because they aren't really making interest rates come down. So it's a nice theory, but it doesn't really hold.
When you think about American real estate and you think about Donald Trump and the optimism that's out there on so many fronts, tax cuts, the border, what we're going to see across the board from him, and much of it we're seeing already, even with Doge, I'll bring that in there. How does that impact the American real estate market?
I think it hurts the real estate market, honestly, because I believe it creates a note of uncertainty that makes people wonder what's going to happen next. And whenever there's uncertainty in the real estate market, that's when the market gets soft. It's never because of a fact. It's always because of perception. And the perception out there is wait and see what's going to happen next.
All right.
I don't think that's good.
So I don't hear a lot from you that is super optimistic about
I feel
this
negative
market.
too.
But when do you think it will recover?
Well, I think it's recovered now. I think you get a good deal if you shop smart now. And I don't think interest rates are going to come down. And I don't think homeowners are going to let go of that 4% interest rate.
Okay.
So I think the market is stuck.
Okay, so just do it. Barbara Corcoran, thank you so much. Always
My
great to
pleasure.
see you.